On this week's episode of The Loud Quiet, empty nesters go back to school.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Loud Quiet. We're very excited today to have Scott and Eileen Nichols with us. They are members of our life group, which those of you who have been listening, we've mentioned our awesome life group before. They are also public school educators. Eileen, elementary school. Scott is a high school teacher. They are also parents of 3 kiddos. They have 2 adult daughters and 1 son. And then, of course, the most important person is their grandson, Charlie, which we will talk about him later in the episode as well. So welcome, you guys. We're glad to have y'all here.
Glad to be here. I want to start off with, because this is a podcast all about empty nest, and a lot of folks think of the empty nest as that's when you wind down. That's when you scale back. That's when you relax. People even equate it with retirement. Y'all chose obviously a much different path than that. What motivated you to go back to school?
For me, it's really about advancing the career. I want to go into leadership and education, so the only way to do that is to get a master's in educational leadership.
What does leadership and education mean?
So we're talking about becoming an administrator, a principal, assistant principal, moving up into the district office, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And today I know places at high school level,
so I'm a classroom teacher of seniors for U.S. government and macroeconomics.
Got it. And we're recording this in summer right now, so everybody's got the nice summer vibes. We're all relaxed. But y'all didn't have that same kind of level of relaxation because school kept going on during the summer, right, Eileen?
Yeah, it did. And we were doing papers and quizzes on our 2-week vacation that we took around the East Coast. So that was fun too.
So Eileen, tell us what prompted you to go back to school, because we know Scott started first and then you decided to do it as well.
Well, Scott gave me a gentle nudge. I really don't have much of a desire to go into administration, although I do want to be a curriculum coach. And so this will help me. One of the classes that I'm taking, and it's actually over several courses, this one book that we're reading has to do with how to coach and become an instructional leader. And so I'm leaning more towards the instructional leader side of things than just the administrator, principal, AP kind of situation.
So y'all were already in the empty nest. Y'all had been in the empty nest for a few years. How has this impacted your freedom of the empty nest going back to school?
I think it's a lot of work. Of course, I started first a year ago, and I'm about to finish up, but the amount of work that goes into it alongside teaching is quite a bit. So that took up a lot of time at home. I mean, it means early mornings, late nights, some weekends of just, working on getting the assignments done, right? Doing the studying. So it does cut in a fair amount, although we've had plenty of fun, been able to do some concerts and traveling and stuff during that same year. So you fit it in, but it's, I can't imagine having done it when I had kids at home. I think that would have been really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So I'd led with saying that a lot of folks think of the empty nest as a way to wind down. You're saying that the empty nest actually provided an opportunity for you to go into this. Was this something that you'd envisioned? Was it planned, or did this show up?
I mean, I had thought about doing it for some time. I was kind of hoping that she would do hers first, and then I would do mine second. But it does give you the opportunity to do more things. So I just looking into what do I want, right? I mean, I've spent a fair number of years working multiple jobs, doing lots of things, going to undergraduate to be able to become a teacher during that time when we had kids, and not necessarily doing something that is going to further my career more, kind of for me or for us. per se. So I think it just opened that up for me.
So Eileen, how you mentioned doing your work on your road trip this summer. So this is the first summer that you've been back in school. So how was that?
I have a tendency to be a perfectionist, so I stress a lot. And so there were times that he had to just say, will you just hand it in after I've looked at it a million times. And so I'm my biggest critic. It was difficult. I wanted to have it all done before we left, but it just wasn't in the cards. And we were in classes that wouldn't give us access to the assignment until the week of. So there was 1 week where we had to like do those assignments as we got them. But we found time, and we actually made sure that we had a place that we rented that actually afforded us to be able to do that. So that was helpful.
You talked about doing the classes while you're on a road trip. You talked about how busy this is. Empty nest alone can put pressure on a couple. How have y'all navigated maintaining being a couple inside of teaching, going back to school, grandkids, family? Where does the empty nest couple fit into this?
I mean, we've done some things where we're members of like Cinemark,
Okay.
right? So we've got tons of credits because there haven't been any good movies in several couple of years. But there are now. We've seen 2 already in the past week or so. So, and several more coming. But we try to get out to the movies. We go out to dinner. If it's a hard day, just go out to dinner and enjoy something outside of the house, especially where we've got graduate work going on. It's things that we would do at home. Get away from that. We try to find other things to do in the area. I mean, North Texas is still fairly new to us, so there's a number of, day trips of things that we could do. But we've also made a point to, during some breaks, go to like San Antonio for, some time, or we've venture out to Disneyland or Disney World a couple of times a year.
I did hear there's a Disney attraction.
Yes. Yeah, so we do those kind of things as often as we can. New Orleans.
No, New Orleans was great. I think that one thing that we do that's really important, I think, as a couple, is I am someone who has to pull away and have quiet time. And being in a 1-bedroom apartment, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
And being empty nesters with the same schedule, and that can be another challenge. And we both have things that keep us busy as individuals too. So like in the mornings, I like to have my quiet time. And so he'll just stay in the bedroom, and I close the door and I have the living room to myself to just have quiet time. I run, he has the podcast. So we find other things so we're still like together, but we're also giving ourselves space and time, because being together in a small apartment can sometimes be a little bit much too.
I can imagine. You guys made the move from Florida. You were in New Hampshire before that. And y'all moved to the North Texas area during COVID year, is that right? Or right around COVID year? Tell us why y'all decided to come to the North Texas area after being in Florida.
I started to get the itch to relocate during COVID. So during that 2020 year in the fall, just kind of becoming disenchanted with Florida a little bit, wanted something new. We've been looking for a church for a long time and weren't really able to find one in Florida. And COVID just made it more difficult to find one there. But COVID also opened up the opportunity to watch church online. And so we got connected with a church in North Dallas that we really liked enough that we started traveling out here to check it out some more, and decided that we would make the move to out here from Florida. So it really kind of centered on looking for a church, community, but also better pay.
And were you on board with that at first? Or?
Yeah, I was on board with that. I really liked the idea of starting something new. I was looking for more of a spiritual growth, being a part of something that would grow us together as a couple, grow us together as a family. And we were also looking for a place that Charlie would be able to grow and get what he needed spiritually and educationally as well.
You've made this move. You're here. Before, your family was all in essentially the same location. Now you've got two that are here, one that is still back in Florida. Walk me through kind of the emotions of now having this multi-location family coming from a everybody was close together family unit.
First of all, we all moved west the same time. Our son actually moved to Colorado first.
Okay.
And then moved back to Florida. The girls rented apartments right in our complex. So we're all living in the complex together. It's like our own little, what do you call it?
Commune.
Yeah, something like that.
I think I was going for compound.
Our son has always been very independent. So having him back in Florida is not terrible because I'm a Disney addict. And so I go to Disney. And he also works for Disney. And it makes me happy that he's doing something that he's passionate about. It's not been a really terrible thing.
Interesting. The housing choice I want to come back to, but I do want to ask you, Scott, how do you feel about the family being in these multiple locations?
We've been very close as a family. So the kids have always been in touch. Our son calls all the time.
Okay.
One of us very frequently or texts. I mean, so we're very much in contact. It was harder, I think, when our youngest daughter for a little while moved back to Florida from here. And I think that was a little bit more difficult. It only lasted about a month before I ended up having to kind of fly out there and rescue her. But she came back and made the choice to stay. So I think they're going well for her now. There's plenty of communication between all of us, and we get together on holidays and things like that.
One of the challenges of being a parent of adult children is knowing when to step in and when not to step in. Now you're describing a scenario where you're deciding how to step in when your child is away from you, an adult child, and not physically close to you. Walk me through what that was like, making that decision to, in your words, rescue.
If I back up in the story a little bit, I can tell you that she was struggling with some things and wanted to move back to Florida. And knowing that that was not going to be a good situation in any way, shape, or form, I had to make the very difficult decision as a dad to say, go for it. Right?
You knew that this was not the ideal path, and yet...
Yeah, it's sort of like when you think
it.
about, like, you know, the prodigal son kind of a situation where you go and do it, and you're going to hit rock bottom, and I know it's coming, and then we're going to have to bring you back. And I mean, even telling her, you're like, you can't get out of your lease, so you're going to have to pay your lease.
Yeah.
You know, and keep that apartment until you get enough money to escape the lease, which was probably never going to happen. So fast forward now through the month, and, you know, everything's supposedly going good, as she's telling me all along. And then we were at a downtown thing in our town, and I get a phone call, and she's in tears and needs to come home. And she's like, I'm going to drive tonight. And I'm like, no, you're not. Right. Like, you're not doing that alone.
Yeah.
You can drive tonight, but you're not doing that alone. So, like, I mean, I got on my app and I bought a plane ticket, went straight to the airport, took off to Florida. So, and flew there, she picked me up at the airport, and we drove all the way back.
Wow.
Like, so, yeah, I mean, I think that was a little bit tough because she was far away.
Okay.
Well, that's gotta hurt so bad to know that you're letting them go into something, but they're adult children. They do that. And it also shows that, hey, even as empty nester parents, we're parents and we're there to rescue. We'll be there. And that's that safety net, if
Yes.
you will, that I imagine gives them such a security. Now, y'all also adopted another sort of approach, and that was we're your safety net, but your choice of housing sent another message as well.
Well, yeah, we rented a one-bedroom apartment. Very economical.
Yeah.
Right. But it does have that appeal of, yeah, you really can't come back. So you're going to have to work it out. As parents, right, we can still help financially. We just don't have a space for you. So.
Yes. And Eileen, I love when you talk about and share with us, your girls are in the same complex as you. So tell us some of the things that y'all get to do.
So every month we have family game night, and my oldest daughter hosts, which she absolutely loves. And she's all about charcuterie boards. So, so it's charcuterie boards and wine, and games. And that's when our daughter's there, our grandson's there. Sometimes even our grandson's father is there, even though he's not married to my daughter. My youngest daughter's there and her boyfriend, and we're all there. We play games and we have a great time. On Saturday mornings we have waffles.
Nice.
Every Saturday morning they come for breakfast. They come over and we have breakfast together, and they hang out until probably about mid-morning. It's really nice.
Yeah,
So
I love that.
There's a little tip then. If you don't want your kids to stay, but you want them to just enjoy company, get the one bedroom and have a nice living room kitchen area where we can hang out, but then go home.
I love hearing those stories. And if you have a story out there to share, maybe your kids live in the same city as you, or maybe they live close to you, that you get to gather with them, once a month, every Saturday, like y'all do. Please let us know on the Loud Quiet Empty Nest Living. That's our Facebook group. You can go and reach out and just tell us your story.
Might even share that story here on the
Yes, we might.
podcast sometime.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the family joined here, but your family's gone even a step further. Your family's now working with you, not only in just the same field. You've got a family of educators, but now you have a daughter that's joined the same district as well. I'm really wondering how you balance the roles when you're a parent, you're a colleague, you're a mentor. Those three things don't always wrap up together. How do you balance those three roles?
We call our Saturday mornings our PD mornings.
Okay.
So a lot of times, like,
development.
we watch
So I was going to say,
professional development. Sorry.
We knew what it was.
Educator lingo. Our youngest daughter is also a parent in the district as well. We sit around, and usually it's us sharing ideas of things that we've done, or just using each other as resources. The one thing that's hard, though, is turning it off. I think that sometimes we get too caught up in our work that we don't talk about as many other things as we should. And so sometimes we have to remind ourselves to not talk about work.
is that something you actively do? Like somebody says, whoa, that's it, work's cut off?
No, wish we did.
We need a bell.
Usually it's our youngest or Charlie. Charlie will usually do something that will kind of distract us.
It used to be our youngest until she became a paraprofessional, and now she talks about it too. So she's included in the conversation more, so she's not as interested in it ending. The thing is, we all have different perspectives.
Yeah.
We're all at different schools, we're at different levels. My oldest daughter works in the same level, but this will be the first year she's in the same district with us. But she'll be at a different high school with a different experience and a different subject. It's not as though we're in the same department, so it doesn't really seem quite the same as like if we were working in the same building.
That makes sense. I could see that. Have you ever felt a collision in those roles? Like where you're thinking, as a mentor, I need to say this, but as a parent, I want to say this, like you're angry for her or with her about something that's happening, but a mentor would say, here's how you work through that.
Usually my oldest daughter just tells me, she does one of those dad things, like I was just trying to say something, like you don't have to fix it.
So that answer applies across all spectrums.
It really does. Really does.
Duly noted. Keep that one down.
Male to female. Well, I know there's a special year coming up for you because your grandson Charlie is going to be at your school. So tell us how excited you are.
I am really excited. So I'm starting in the new school in the same district. I'm opening a new elementary school, and Brittany, our oldest daughter, is helping opening a new high school in the same district. And so Charlie is going to be coming to my school. I'm really excited. We do have some boundaries though. I am doing my master's program and I'm a team leader and I have a lot of things that I have to do after school. And so Charlie will be attending an aftercare program so that he's not needing to hang out at my room when he has constructive things to do. But I did ask if he could stay with me the first day of school so that we can talk about his first day. But I like it because, teaching can be hard. And to see his little face once a day is just I know it's gonna really lift my spirits. And
He's really excited too. I asked him today. He said he's really excited.
So that'll be so much fun.
he said that he's not going to tell anybody I'm his Gigi. And I asked him, I said, so are you going to call me Mrs. Nichols? Or are you going to call me Gigi? And he's like, you're Gigi. He says, but nobody else can call you Gigi.
So he's not going to reveal that you're Gigi, but you're going to be called Gigi. I love the thought process of a young mind.
Little innocent little minds. Yes, so much fun. Well, you guys, thank you so much for being on today. We would like to promote, Scott has a podcast with one of his friends. It's called Home Sweet Home. It digs into family matters and different situations surrounding families. So be sure and check that out. We will put the link to it in our show notes. And again, we just thank y'all for joining us on another episode of The Loud and Quiet.